All right, let's dive into a universe that runs like a cosmic bank, a place where every single action, every choice you make gets stamped onto a universal ledger. Today, we're breaking down the Newtonian consequence.
So just try to imagine this for a second. A reality that operates with the cold, hard logic of a bank. Every single thing you do, good or bad, a heroic sacrifice, a sneaky betrayal, it all becomes just another entry in this giant cosmic ledger. And there's absolutely no wiggle room, no mercy, just the bottom line. And get this isn't just some abstract philosophical concept. No, it's a literal law of physics in this world. Think about it like gravity. It's a system of perfect, unforgiving balance. Every single debt has to be paid, every favor returned. No exceptions. Ever. Okay, so that brings up a huge question, right? What happens when a soul just refuses to pay? And we're not talking about just skipping out on a bill here. This is a direct challenge to the very fabric of reality. It's basically declaring war on the cosmic order itself.
All right, Section 1, the Clockwork universe, a brutal but predictable existence. So how does this whole thing actually function? Well, the best way to think about it is like a colossal ticking clock, a giant, intricate machine where every single life is just another gear, and every tick-tock is a transaction. And for this machine to keep running, every single piece has to move in perfect and, brutal alignment.
So the very heart of this is a concept called the Newtonian consequence. And what that means is that morality, it's not about what you intended to do. It's basically a branch of physics. Every action has an equal and opposite measurable consequence. The universe itself is the ultimate accountant, and you better believe it, make sure every single debt gets paid.
Okay, so this whole system is built on 5 key principles, 5 core tenets. First up, you've got the law of reciprocity. Super simple. Actions demand an equal reaction. Then there's the tangibility of obligation. This is a big one. Debts aren't just promises. They are literal physical burdens on your soul. Third is transactional value. Your worth is measured in stuff you can actually touch. Steel, gold, blood. Pretty straightforward. Fourth, universal auditing. There's this cosmic being, the Tither Master, who literally tracks every single soul like an asset on a balance sheet. And that brings us to the last one, moral determinism. It all adds up to a world that's brutal, for sure, but also completely predictable. You always know exactly where you stand, but you have zero freedom.
Next up, the metaphysical outlaw. The soul that stepped off the board. So into this perfectly balanced, ticking machine steps an anomaly, a glitch in the system. A metaphysical outlaw who takes one look at this cosmic clock and decides, you know what, I'm gonna break it.
And that outlaw's name is Jack Sovereign. This is a guy whose very existence is an act of total defiance. In a universe obsessed with ledgers and records, his one goal is to erase his name from every single page, to become a ghost in the machine.
But here's the thing, he wasn't always this cosmic rebel. He actually started out as Stingy Jack, a petty trickster who was completely obsessed with tiny debts and treasures. He was a product of the system. But something happened. A journey transformed him into the monstrum unbound, a predator of the absolute, totally hell-bent on destroying the whole shebang.
And this quote really gets to the heart of it. A soul that belongs nowhere may become anything. That was his big revelation. The idea that real freedom, your true potential, can only be found when you're off the books, when you're a blank slate in a universe that records everything. And you can imagine, for everyone else trapped in this system, that is one revolutionary and incredibly dangerous idea.
Okay, so now we get to his declaration of war and how he plans on nullifying a cosmic debt. I mean, how does one guy actually declare war on reality itself? Well, you don't do it with an army. You do it with one single, perfectly calculated act of rebellion. So what does he do? He finds Red Sonja, a warrior completely tangled up in the chains of this transactional system. But instead of just, paying her debt or transferring it, he does something unthinkable. He just cancels it. He attacks the fundamental laws of the universe itself, offering her a kind of freedom she probably didn't even know could exist. And to make this freedom real, he gives her 3 tools of insurrection. First, a new law. He just declares that sovereignty cannot be traded. Boom. Her debt isn't moved around, it's just gone, erased. Second, he gives her the Pandemonium Dagger. This isn't just a weapon, it's a tool for ontological warfare. It literally burns away the Tither Master's soul link records. It erases history. And finally, a simple pouch of gold. This frees her from material needs, which means every action she takes from now on is driven purely by her own will, not by necessity. All right, let's talk about the fallout, a glitch in the system, and how the universe reacts to a paradox like this. As you can probably guess, an act of cosmic defiance on this scale does not go unnoticed. Erasing a debt from the universal ledger, that's like going into the source code of reality and just hitting delete on a crucial line. The whole system starts to, well, glitch. Of course, an act this radical catches the eye of the universe's powerful cosmic entities. You've got this triumvirate, basically, the big bosses who embody the fundamental forces of this reality. And each one of them has a very different and very revealing reaction to what just happened. So let's break down how they react. You've got Pam, who represents vitality. She sees this and is just thrilled. She loves the wild, liberating chaos of it all. Then you have Cynos, the embodiment of despair, and as you might expect, Cynos is utterly repulsed. He calls it a putrid spark of hope. And finally, you have the Tithermaster, Mr. Order himself. He's just alarmed. He doesn't see chaos or hope, he just sees a cosmic deficit, a red mark in his ledger, a threat to his perfect orderly system.
This leads us to our next section, the unbound will, because a sovereign zone has just been created. This is the ultimate consequence of Jack's rebellion. It's the creation of a whole new kind of existence, something the Clockwork universe was never, ever built to handle.
Think about it. Red Sonja is no longer defined by what she owes. She's now defined only by what she wills into being. She has become what's called a sovereign zone, a person who literally exists outside the fundamental laws of this reality. Her choices aren't driven by debt or obligation anymore. They're a force of pure, untethered will.
So when you strip it all down, the ultimate conflict here is system versus will. It's the rigid, predictable, and frankly brutal order of the cosmic ledger on one side, versus the unlimited, messy, chaotic potential of a will that is truly and absolutely free. And that leaves us with one last, really provocative question to chew on. If the Tethermaster's eternal records can be burned, if this one act proves they aren't so eternal after all, then what other supposedly indelible cosmic laws are about to be broken?